my friends, and welcome to my den for a New Year's Eve shave, brought to us by Pré de Provence 63. But for our purposes today, Pré de Provence 65, because, well, I got a year older. So here we go. Our razor today is my birthday Fat Boy. This is the fourth quarter of 1960. And our brush, which I forgot about, it's been laying in the sink all day. A Sterling Badger. So it's probably fortuitous that it's been soaking. So let's load this. This has been kind of a day. I've got a whole, I was opening the cabinet and a whole tuck of Wizamettes took a tumble right into the sink there, and they're all wet. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about all this. The thing about these, you can load it, but the puck on a 63 is kind of a little bit smallish, so you have to kind of swirl it around. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been told that, yeah, not a good idea to do too much twirling on a Badger bristles. And I'm thinking to myself, that does make sense. You know, it does kind of torque on those hairs a little bit, and it might make them not last as long. But you know what? Badger brushes aren't terribly expensive, and we can get new replacements. Now, when people noticed that it was probably saving on the bristles, it was probably Badger probably wasn't as available, or you wanted to save on what you had and take good care of it. And we do. We want to take care of our equipment. And so I'm seeing both sides of the fence on the twirling. Now, you gotta, if you're making a lather, you gotta be twirling it. So I don't know. Boy, 63 smells wonderful. This is one of my very favorite soaps. And I don't use Badgers as much as I should, so I don't know how good this lather is going to be. Well, we'll see. I think maybe I'll need to put a little more water in there, because right now it's all the lather. It starts to look like it's building up, then it all gets sucked up into the brush, even though it's been soaking for several hours. I would think that it would be piling its own moisture in, and not need for me to add more water. But, well, look at what we got here. I mean, it's doing pretty good, but, well, let's just go with what we got here, because we're just using a DE blade, and we're gonna just go to it. Being as right now it's New Year's Eve, I'm shaving really New Year's Eve, because it takes me a little while to get all these things edited down and to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I've been pretty busy today doing all kind of stuff, making things ready for New Year's meals. You know, that custom of eating pork and cabbage on New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, I guess. I don't understand how that's, you know, all the ins and outs of that. And I suppose I could do some research on my own. You guys have any neat New Year's Eve or New Year's Day rituals or traditions that you do? Let me know about them. Put them in the comments below. For me, we get together with friends New Year's Eve. And now that we're getting older, it's more and more tricky until we don't make it to New Year's Day. We don't always make it clear to midnight, or we get too tired to go on. But we have pork and sauerkraut, or and a new aged one that I've instituted is I go get a crave case of White Castles. When I first started that, the gang at the party would go, "Oh man, White Castles," but by midnight they were all gone. So maybe it's a good tradition. White Castles aren't necessarily the greatest of burgers, but they are tasty. And using my birthday razor, another tradition I'll just keep going with. In addition, I've been doing some tasks around the house, one of which is refurbishing what they call a shoji screen. My mother and father, back in the 60s, bought a set of screens, wooden screens, for room dividing. My dad bought them unfinished and shipped them here to the United States. And they had been sitting in the dining room, half assembled. They've been standing up, and they've been a room divider, but they've been just sticks, or it's a lattice, very elaborate lattice work that is quite often treated with rice paper to make a little bit better light transmission and decorative. My mother had talked about paper in those screens as long as I can remember. Now, she passed away some years ago, and then I've been talking about paper in them since then, since we just fell on me to do something. Well, I started papering them yesterday, and got them half done. I'll put pictures in here so that you can see what they look like, and it's quite an interesting project. You'd think it would be easy, but they're using mulberry paper and using a paste made out of rice. You boil the rice and boil a little more so it gets kind of soupy. You squash it and mix it all up, and then you use that as your paste to hold it together. It dries clear, and it's just a traditional way of doing things. Kind of proud of it. Got the first 2 panels done, and I got 2 more on this set, and then there's another great big one that Dad had made before he came back. And so I got a bunch of paper to do. Once I'm learning how to do it, it's not real hard, except that the paper is so fragile. You have to be super careful to not wrinkle the paper while you're doing this. And of course, getting too much water on this paper make it pucker and shrink, and it's kind of a process. Anyway, we're making it happen, and I can see why Mom was talking about it but putting it off. And well, we're getting it done, and I hope she's enjoying the spectacle. from where she is to watching me do this for her. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them. That's a whole another consideration. I'll just let the wife decide on that. It's not my job. No problems with that. Fat Boys are remarkably smooth, good shavers. So I didn't expect to have any difficulty. And then our aftershave is in a balm format, and it's in this box. I keep it in there because, well, it comes in a big toothpaste tube. And I, for years, didn't know that this existed. I was using the EDT, which is in a spray bottle, to spritz on myself as an aftershave, but this stuff is really nice. And it is among my very favorite fragrances. This is a French barbershop fragrance. I just got all the skin food, and it's wonderful. It's a vegan soap and doesn't, it is good stuff. But that's it for today's shave. It was kind of a quick one, and it was over pretty much after I got started it. I don't know, I'm sorry the time got away from us. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe if you're so inclined. I'm Major Rich, and you'll find me at theshavingcutter.com, and we will see you next time. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.